At one point as a DJ, or even just in life, you may have moments where you doubt your abilities, and because of this, your confidence drops, and worse, these feelings and doubts spill over and affect every area of your life. And as a result, you lose momentum, or worse, you give up on your dreams and perhaps you just write them off as unrealistic. Trust me, okay, we're all human and this is all very natural, even for DJs at the highest level. So stick around, as this video is probably the most important one you'll watch all year, as without a positive mindset, you can easily cripple your chances of succeeding as a DJ. So first off, let's talk mindset, and then I'm actually going to give you some practical advice and steps to assure that you cultivate confidence behind the decks, from your practice sessions to playing live to even the self-talk you have when it comes to being a DJ. Okay, so number one, if you want to be a confident DJ, then 100% your best bet is to practice. Now, by the way, this doesn't necessarily mean mastering effects and fancy combos. It could mean anything from researching music to going to clubs and getting inspired to even just listening to music, as without a doubt, the most important step to being confident is to not only make progress, but to feel like you're making progress. So here's the thing, if you feel you should be doing something, but you keep putting it off, then not only does that open the door to giving yourself a hard time for not taking action, but worse, it can easily lead to feeling out of alignment with your goals and possibly even doubting your ability to get anything done. So if this is you, honestly, go easy on yourself and know the fact that you had the idea, the desire in the first place is enough. That means it already exists within you, and all you have to do is get out of your own way. And to do this, and as cliche as this sounds, I would start by setting an intention or even a goal, as honestly, if you know where you want to go and what you actually want to achieve, then it's like giving your boat a rudder and you can now steer at least right in the direction you want to go. So an intention or a goal, it might be to commit to just putting together 20 tracks into a playlist this week, okay? And if you're new to DJing, perhaps you could simply practice mixing the intro over the outro with the goal that as one track drops off, your new track kicks in perfectly. See, the key is it's not to overwhelm yourself. What's more important is that you just take the first step, no matter how small. And from that step, it's so much easier to build momentum. And once you start building momentum, your confidence is going to grow. It is honestly that simple. One quick thing to note though, the biggest confidence killer of all time is to compare yourself to other DJs, okay? So everyone is on their own journey, and just because you see people on YouTube, you know, busting out these fancy routines, or perhaps you're just struggling to make your transitions line up, okay? It doesn't mean that they're better or you're worse, or that they're more confident than you or happier or whatever, right? See, DJing, like surfing, okay, it's a source, okay? And sure, there are different ways you can DJ and surf, but as long as you're actually behind the decks, or for the sake of this metaphor, right, riding waves, then there's no better or worse, only how you feel about it. So trust me, the guy on the longboard hanging 10 with his dog, okay, maybe having as much fun, if not more, than the guy on the 5'8", carving up the waves like a world champ, okay, or a maniac, okay. They're just approaching the waves in completely different ways. Now, sure, yes, it would be good to be able to do both, okay, for whatever the occasion requires from you. But as soon as you start seeing something as better or worse, ego's crept in, okay? And that means then once ego's there and you're starting to think like that, honestly, it's a confidence killer, okay? So unless you can look at other DJs as a source of inspiration and be happy for their successes, then perhaps it's just best not to, compare yourself at all. Just run your own race. Now, just remember, nothing has meaning except the meaning you give it. And the fact is, if your talent is track selection and putting together sets that connect people, then spending hours learning tricks may not resonate with you. So you don't have to force yourself to do anything that you're not feeling, okay? So instead, trust your ideas as they come. Trust what excites you when you're doing it. And then by doing so, you get out of your own way and you allow things to unfold naturally. You get into a flow state. Now, just let go, okay, of comparisons, and instead learn to count your successes, and even better, be happy for other people's success and learn to be inspired by people, not outpsyched by them. Okay, now personally as a teacher, I like to ease people into DJing and build their confidence by giving them exercises that they can replicate on any gear or using any genre, and they can see and get immediate results, so they can immediately start feeling good about themselves and start feeling inspired. Okay, but from there, as a teacher, it is important to keep challenging my students, because to improve, it keeps things interesting as well and challenging, and keeps you engaged the whole time. But just remember, when you're learning, it should always be about having fun. So anyway, if you're a fan of the channel then and you like the way I teach, you should 100% check out my Club Ready DJ course right now. I'll link it in the description below, but I share that as honestly, no doubt my course has been a game changer for thousands of DJs around the world. And I now see posts of my students now DJs landing huge shows that honestly, some of them are bigger than the stuff I ever played, man. I'm making DJs, very, very confident. Okay, but now for the secret sauce. What you think about, you bring about. So if you're beating yourself up over doing little to nothing each day, or perhaps you're focusing on things outside of your control, like your age, or perhaps you're paranoid about going bald, or maybe you just feel anxious in social settings and you worry about standing up in front of people and making a fool of yourself, okay? Then the truth is, the more you think about negative scenarios, the more you invite them into your life. So fuck all that, man. We're all gonna die one day, and anyone that only likes you because of superficial reasons, like whether or not you have hair or cool tattoos, right? That relationships, they're not gonna stand the test of time. And in the bigger scheme of things, those people, they're not going to remember nor matter to you in the slightest. So I read once, right, you never have to convince the people you love of anything, as they know you, they love and accept you as you are. And the people who don't like you, they're not going to believe anything you say anyway. So stop trying to impress them. Who cares? Only your opinion of yourself matters, and this should not be affected by how other people see you, because how others see you is just a reflection of how they see the world. And the truth is, you don't really factor into it, okay? It's just them with their filters. So forget, it's all a waste of time. So if you tend to care too much what other people think and often doubt yourself, then honestly own it. Even name the feelings you're feeling so you can bring them to the surface and then reframe them in a more positive way. So for instance, if you're feeling insecure or you care too much what other people think, name that feeling and spot it as you're feeling it. Then that feeling loses its power through your awareness, as opposed to entertaining ideas and thoughts that do not serve you at all. And if anything, right, this negative thinking, it just hinders your progress. It keeps you trapped, okay? So if you're sick of the doubts, fears, worries, or negative self-talk, the only way to stop thinking or obsessing over something is to put your attention onto something else. So decide now, what do you want? And how would you feel once you have it? What qualities would you possess if all your dreams came true and you were living from that reality right this moment? Okay, so do you see yourself hunched over, chin down, guarded, right, overly worried and looking around to see if anyone's looking at you, right? Or do you see yourself arms up high, jumping, happy, confident, sexy, successful, people coming up to you, congratulating you, man, that was like a killer set, man, And to be honest, you can imagine anything you want, but the key is to choose goals and thoughts that feel natural to you, okay? They're believable and they excite you. And as your confidence grows, you're gonna find your goals do too. So let's say you wanna just be a really great DJ and for people to love your sets. Then start recognizing the areas where you're already making progress, and perhaps even imagine what people would say to you after hearing you play. So you put it this way, what's the alternative, okay? Letting your mind take control, okay? And by the way, how's that going for you, okay? It's like, honestly, man, responding to everything, like, honestly, fuck that, okay? It's so much more fun focusing on what you want as opposed to cultivating what you don't want, sometimes subconsciously, okay? But one more thing to note, okay? And that is, if you're trying to attain a goal to feel a certain way, then you'll spend your whole life chasing a feeling that you have access to right now. I read somewhere, assume a virtue if you have it not, okay? As by taking on the qualities you want now and even recognizing them as already existing within you, you can grow into the person you want to be and start attracting the circumstances needed for confidence and success now. So the first question is, who do you want to be? What qualities do you want to have? And then start recognizing those qualities within yourself right now. And by focusing on your strengths, they become more prominent in your life. Okay, now buckle up as I'm on a roll now, okay? Jeez. Now, I may as well take it all a little bit deeper, okay? So it's said that before you even say a word to someone, your energetic signature introduces you. Like, oh, okay. So this means if you're stressed, okay, you're anxious, or perhaps you spend a lot of time blaming, complaining, comparing yourself to people, reacting to all the shit in your life, then your negative vibes and outlook may push some people away, which honestly, it's probably going to result in less opportunities and from that more and more blaming, okay? So for instance, right, have you ever met someone before and before they even opened their mouth, they just had this bad vibe and you weren't resonating with them, okay? That's it, that's that intuition. You've got to be careful of what vibe you put out. So the best way to have a good vibe and therefore attract more opportunities is to just train yourself to find things to be grateful for. Now, I know that sounds lame, okay, but it is said, the only way relationships can survive and even thrive is to find things and focus on what you appreciate about the other person. Fuck man, there's a big bug. I'm in Thailand at the moment. It's like, anyway, for instance, okay, let's say you're starting to doubt you're with the right partner, or perhaps doubting your initial idea to even become a DJ. Then honestly, man, you're sabotaging yourself right there, okay? But if you change your focus and instead find things and even list all the things you appreciate, then your whole world is going to change for the better. Trust me, okay? If you can enjoy yourself no matter what happens, okay? And always look for the good in people and even within yourself, okay? Then people are going to feel drawn to you. They're going to feel attracted to you. You know, they're going to want to help you, okay? And I even know this, okay, personally from teaching one-on-ones and previous to that, booking DJs to play at my club events. And that is the students and the DJs that were optimistic. They had fun. They were upbeat. They were grateful. They had a freshness about them. And they were not only like a real pleasure to teach and work with, but also to just be around, okay? And in turn, those people always got the most opportunities, okay? And I remember this one girl at one of the clubs I had, SFX, her name's Amy, okay? She was honestly one of the kindest and sweetest people like I've ever met. And to be honest, I was going through some rock star bullshit, okay, at that time, okay? And she never judged me for any of that. She accepted, liked me, supported me, helped me as much as I could, right? And honestly, she was just super grateful to be involved and have a residency. And straight up, if there was a choice between working with her or someone like, you know, who's like super talented, maybe 10 times more talented, but they're a bit of a fuckwit, okay? And let's say I clash with them, honestly, I would choose the friendly person any day of the week as they put off a good vibe. And that's the kind of vibe that you want at your club events, okay? Or you want to be a part of, or what you want to bring to people's clubs when you play. So stop taking yourself so seriously. Get out of your head and make it a habit to cultivate a positive attitude. Now, I know when I was younger, I was really into Anthony Robbins, and he says the best way to cultivate a positive outlook is to constantly ask yourself questions. So for instance, what's good about this situation? What are you excited about? What gave you joy today? And if you can make it a habit to ask yourself empowering questions, to always find the good in every situation, people are going to be more drawn to you. And then when you play, people will support you no matter what. Even if you're boarding, even if you're starting to release more content than before. Okay, so now we've covered the mindset for confidence, e.g. making it a priority to make progress no matter how small, not comparing yourself to others, replacing negative thoughts, fears and worries with an intention to find things to be happy about and grateful for. The next step, no doubt, is how to be confident when you actually play live, knowing that your live performances are going to be amazing and exceeding everyone's expectations, but most importantly, exceeding your own. Now, I plan to include these steps in today's video, but man, this video is already getting super long, lots of distractions going on, okay? So honestly, let me know if you like this and you want more like this. And honestly, if you haven't already and you've watched this far, please subscribe. Thanks in advance for supporting the channel. Honestly, I'm just in Thailand for a couple of weeks. Like I came here, it's a place in Koh Phangan. It's kind of a little bit more remote. I can kind of like turn it around a bit, okay? Ooh, okay. And sometimes I come here, well, just going on a little tangent now, but I heard once there's two types of people, okay? Big people with small problems and small people with big problems. And let's say it's all accumulating and, you know, sometimes, you know, as you're feeling a bit overwhelmed, sometimes I like to come here and grow, and I love doing my work. My work's my life. But yeah, I just came up with this video. I thought being here it deserved a mindset video because I'm here all about mindset actually, and growing so I can give more to you guys. Actually, I love my work, and thanks for supporting me. Please subscribe. I love seeing my channel grow, and I love being able to help you all. Okay, cheers.